All right, so it is a beautiful day outside today. It is -2 degrees Celsius or 28 degrees Fahrenheit. And I recently picked up a new succulent and I am ecstatic to start working on this thing. So let's go inside and take a look at it. All right, so we have a very exciting plant going on today. So this is a Portulacaria Afra elephant jade that I picked up off of Facebook Marketplace recently. And it was listed for $25, which I thought was an incredible deal. And from the bottom of the pot to the top of the highest branch, it was measuring at about 22 inches tall. Now I knew that if I did pick this up, I would probably be doing some heavy pruning on it, so the 22 inches tall part didn't necessarily matter. But what I did notice was the age on the bark. This thing has to be, oh my gosh, I'm not good at judging how old it is. It's old. Just looking at it, it has to be at least maybe 10 to 15 years old. So the person that I bought this from said that this was actually from a greenhouse that I believe was getting shut down, or maybe they were going out of business. I'm not exactly sure the details, but it was greenhouse grown. Obviously it needs a lot of work because it's just kind of a mess. So it's a lot of raw material here that can be shaped. So I've been taking my time examining this over the past couple days. I don't want to rush anything and I want to take my time with this. I was debating whether I want to do a hard cutback on it and really go hard on it, or do I want to just do some minor prunes? And I'm leaning towards the minor-ish prunes. Hopefully, once I get into it, I don't get too heavy. What I want to do first is I want to prune this up a little bit, just get rid of some of the branches that I know aren't going to be needed. It's obviously going to need a repot because this pot is very small compared to the size of the plant. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm leaning towards this being shaped as a slanted style bonsai, kind of in a semi-upright slanted style. I don't really want to do a whole lot of hard prunes on this because I want to minimize the amount of scarring on here, and I want to keep as many of these really aged branches as I can. So I'm going to dive in and start examining this thing. So if you look here, it looks like we have another little succulent down here, which I think is I think it's called like a mother of thousands or mother of millions, I think. So yeah, that's gonna have to come out. There might actually be 2, maybe even 3 down there. And I'm looking, I see a little plastic pot right there that I didn't notice. So there's a pot within this pot. So let's plop that out of there and get a better look. All right, I'm going to gently lift this up. There we go. Oh man, this pot is busted. Just take a quick peek. Yeah, this is pretty hard right there. I wonder if I could just slip pot this real quick into something else. Now I know I just said that I'm not going to repot this, but I think I am. I'm not going to do a big repot on it. I think I'm going to be doing more of a slip pot on this. Just because this little pot right here is way too small. Like I said, I do want to transition this thing pretty slowly. So I think having a bigger pot will help it in the long run. And I don't want to really do a lot of root pruning on this, if at all. But I do want to slip pot it into something a little bit bigger, keep it a little bit more stable, because right now this thing is very loosey-goosey. Now the pot I'm going to use is this red one right here that actually came with some ficus that I bought probably about like 4 months ago. So it doesn't have the best drainage in the world, and it's one of those pots that has the tray attached to it at the bottom. So yeah, we'll use this one, and it's sturdy. It's kind of heavy though. So what I want to do is get rid of some of these little succulents down here. These look like they've been in here for a while. This thing is dry as a bone. Wow, there's a bunch of these little succulents in here. All right, I think we got everything there. So yeah, not sure the variety of this thing, or these things I should say. All right, so I just cleaned that up a little bit. So we got our pot right here. Let's get some bonsai soil. Like I said, this is just gonna be a slip pot. Okay, I think that will do for now. It seems pretty stable in there now. So that will give me something to work with so this thing doesn't fall over as I'm pruning it up. Let's get a better look at this thing. All right, so looking at this thing, I think we are going to go for the slanted look here and kind of have this trunk veer off in this direction right here. So if we look at the trunk, it has the base right here, and then we have a branch here, and then it splits into one right here, and then another one right here. And then we have some various branches going on here. We have these branches that are coming out towards the viewer, because I think this is going to be our front. If I spin this around, nothing really great there. I mean, that's an option for a front, but I really don't think so. The only way I could see this way is being the front is if I were to tip this back and bring it and make it more of an upright. But I like the idea of making it more of a slanted style. So yeah, like I said, it has a couple branches going up here, and then it starts getting really, really crazy up there. Really tangled mess. So I'm going to start down at the bottom and work my way up. So I think I want to keep this section free of many branches besides this back one here. So branches like this one that's going to be coming out towards the viewer, and then this one I think will all go. That way we can really focus the eye on the trunk right here. So let's first start off by taking this little branch right here at the bottom off. All right, first cut, here we go. And I'm just gonna leave a little bit of room for dieback. Let's clean that up a little bit. All right, we can see a little bit better. I think next up, I want to take this one off. Let's see if I can snip that here. Actually, maybe right there. Nice little cutting there. And I think I'm going to leave that little nub on there. That should die back. The next one is this one right here that is going to be coming towards the viewer a little bit. So we don't need that. Now there's this branch right here that blocks the view all the way down here, and it starts all the way up here. So it goes from here to here, which is probably like 10 inches, maybe even 12 inches. So that is a long branch that I don't want on there. So I'm going to cut that back pretty far. I think I can cut it back to about here. Ah, look at that. That's a excellent cutting right there. We're still getting a little bit lost in this section here. This one here can get cut back. I think we can cut it back to where this is right here. Better, better. This part right here is kind of annoying me. On that same section where we just cut right here, there's this one over here. Although now that I'm looking at it, there's this branch back here, and this one right here crosses over, and this one even blocks that a little bit. So I'm wondering if we even snip it back to right there. I think we do. Big cuts happening here. Another great cutting. This is like cutting city. All right, so we're getting a better image of the trunk down here, splitting into two. And then it comes up right here. We have a branch that comes out right here. And let's see if we can trim that back a little bit. Now you can tell this is actually actively growing because there's some little green buds here. You can see right there. Well, maybe not that, but you can see down here. There's little green buds that are happening. So it is an active grow. So it is actively growing right now, which is good for us as we're doing these prunes. I think this one can come off here. Maybe we bring this back to here. This really long branch is kind of annoying. It has another branch that goes back, oh man, a bunch back there, and this one right here. I almost want to take it off to right there for now, but is it even necessary? Do we take the whole thing off? I think we take the whole thing off. I think we take this whole branch off. Yeah, we're gonna take the whole branch off. Wow. Look at that. That should hopefully die back. I think this branch right here should come back to here. And then this one back to here. I want to leave some foliage on here. I think eventually it would be nice to have this go back all the way to here. But we're not getting incredibly crazy on this right now. I think this can come off here. Just fix that a little bit. there's a branch right here that could probably stay, but I think it can be trimmed back a whole bunch. And we're going to trim it back to here. Oh my gosh, look how long these branches are. That is shaping up. This branch right here, let's take a look at this one. All right, so here's this branch right here. And if you look right there, there's a whole bunch of branches that come out at once. There's this one up here, 2, 3, 4, 5 branches coming all out pretty much at the same spot. So this one's quite the eye poker. So that's the first one to go. There we go. Oh my gosh, that's a huge cutting right there. And my battery died just as I was about to cut this branch here, so that one is off there. Then there's this really long branch here that goes straight up. Could be a leader. You know, one interesting angle that we could take with this is if this came up and then you chop this part off and then this right here becomes your new leader. So it kind of like comes up that way. It's kind of tough to tell with this long branch there. But that could be an interesting angle to take, but that's not sure if I want to do that. It's a lot to take off. I do want to avoid having too much scarring though. Well, there's this branch right here that comes out there, and I don't see a need for that. This is just crazy. That's coming off. Yeah, this branch is just nestled, and the little crook right there goes all the way over here and down a long time. So before I snip it, I just want to make sure that I do want to get rid of it. And I think I do. I know I do. So here's a monstrous cut right here. And that really changed the look of the whole tree right there. That's a big cut right there. So a pretty easy prune will be this branch right here that is just going straight down. That is not necessary. So that's coming off here. You know what? I think I'm doing this wrong. I think this needs to come up and be more like that. I don't know about the slanted style. I think it needs to be more upright. Well, I'll come back to that thought. I think I want to take this branch right here back to right here. Get rid of all that. And I want to get rid of this one altogether. And this one is unnecessary, but do I actually want to take... Yeah, this is a pretty big cut, but we're going to take all of this off too. This, I think, really messes up with the flow. All right, so I think that is it for tonight. As you can see, we took plenty of branches off, so I'll come back another night and we'll work on this a little bit more. All right, and we're back the next day. So let's take a look at this. I think I want to work on this branch back here. So let's get in a little bit tighter there. So I'm going to make a decent sized cut here. I'm going to trim this back to here. Taking all of this off. And then I'm also going to take this off here. And I'm not sure if I'm going to cut this. I think I'm just going to leave that for now. I think this branch back here needs to be trimmed up a little bit. Yeah, I think we can take this back. I'm going to take it back to here. I'm going to take this off here. No, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to take this off here. This will take off here. Trim this back. I think we can get away with cutting this back too. Trim this back to here. Take that here. We're just kind of like bringing some of these long and lanky branches back a little bit. You know, actually, before I get too much farther, I think I need to course correct the placement of the plant in the pot here, because it is shooting off that way, and I think I do want to bring it up that way a little bit more. So I think I'm going to take some of this out of the pot, some of this soil that I just put in there, and just realign it and bring it back a little bit so that this, which is facing that way, goes up a little bit more straight. Let's see if we can do this. All right, I'm much happier with this placement now. This is much better. So I think what I want to tackle now is some of the height, because this thing's too tall. Let's see if we can bring down some of this height up there. All right, so all the super tall stuff is coming down. All right, we are getting there. This is looking better, looking better. I think I need to make a big decision here. There's this branch right here that is really messing up the flow. And I think I need to take that out. Yeah, we're gonna take that out. All right, so this is going to leave a bit of a wound, but I think it's a necessary cut here. Let's make sure we're all lined up. Here we go. Man, that is a big cut right there. All right, that opened that right up. Look at that. So hopefully that will heal over time. And they can see a lot more of that main trunk there. You know, I think this right here, this specific view right here, I think that is going to be the front. So I'm just going to kind of mark this as the front for right now. You know, part of me really wants to take this branch off right there so that this will continue on like that, and this would open up a lot more. But that would be a very brave cut right there, because that is basically the leader. Because right now we have two main leaders going on right now. We have this one right here, and we have this one right here. I think I know what the next big move is. I think this branch has to come off right there. Well, before I do that, I think I'm just going to take off this one branch here. And then this here. And then this here. I think another big move is taking this one off here. That allows the flow to come up. So it'll come up here, have this branch there, and then it can continue on this way, because I feel like that's a bit distracting. Yeah, let's take this off here. That might have been a little too flush there, but oh well. And I think this little bit right here can come off too. As well as this little bit. And this is good to get off. I think this can come off here. I'm gonna leave this on for now. I know it's touching the dirt basically, but I'm just gonna move some of that soil back, because I'd eventually like to raise this back up a little bit. This is really my trouble spot right here, whether I want to snip this off or snip this off, like this big long one there, or this one, because this crossing right there is really annoying. This really long bit can come off. Maybe we will bring it to, actually, I think this whole thing can come off right there. That added some light. I think this can come off here. I think this one has to go too. I feel like I want to leave some open space on this side so that we see the branches really start to come out on this side, and on this side, and we leave this open, or at least make it minimal, the amount of space we leave in here, because maybe this part right here could fill out that open space. I'll leave that there for now as a backup. I think this right here can come off. This one's got to go. Bring this back to here. Take off this and this. Bring this back to here. Eliminate this guy. We'll leave this for now, just for some energy. This can go. This can go. Trim this back. All right, so I think that is it for tonight. I'm gonna come back another night and we'll finish this off. All right, and we are back with day 3 now. So day 3 of the prunes. We're just about there. I just have a few last things I want to do. So for a quick recap, we have the trunk coming up, and it splits into 2 right here. And we have a branch here, and then a branch here, which is good. I like the 2 separation of the branches there. It comes up, and then it splits into 2 right here, and that is fine. It's a little long, and then this is fine. It's quite long, but I just want to keep some energy in the branch. After this branch here, we lead with our main leader. Comes up to this branch here, which is okay. I'm not a huge fan, but we'll see what develops. Comes up and splits into 2 right here. So we have this branch here that comes up. This is kind of like our main leader, and this is the secondary leader, I would say. So it comes up, splits into 2. We have this weird nub right here that I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. Maybe that'll be on the next round of prunes. See how it goes and maybe snip that off. Unsure about that for now. And then this comes up, and I think this is okay how I have it now. Anyway, it comes up over here. We got branch that way, that way. We have one in the back here. I'm unsure about this one either because it kind of goes, we have a bar branch, so it's a branch here and a branch here on the same plane. You might be able to see that a little bit better if I switch around. You can see right there and there. I think that's another area that I'm just going to keep it for now and wait and see. We got this branch here, which is good. This one here, which is good. I'm noticing a little nub right there that I want to take off. So let me just snip this back a little bit. So we got that branch, this nub, which is okay. This branch there, that's fine. I'm liking this. We have a little branch in the back, which is okay. This branch comes up, splits into, well, it comes up and has a branch here, and then just branches out all the way over here. Now this one and this one, I feel are quite long still, but I'm gonna leave them for now. I'm gonna make sure that we supply a lot of energy to the main tree here. Then it comes up here. We have a potential of another little baby branch coming out, another one coming here, and then this longer one that comes out. And I see this here. I'm thinking I might cut, well, let me leave that. Let's just leave that. Oops, losing stuff. Yeah, we'll leave this for now. And then we have this branch here and this branch there. And I think that's pretty good. I think I mentioned we have that one back there as well. So I'm liking how this is going. So for this branch here, we have this one that is just a hair too long. I want to cut this part off right here. But again, I want to keep that energy flowing through the tree. So I'm going to leave that right there. On the next go round, if this is still healthy, I'll snip this back and potentially get it back pretty far because we have a lot of little rings right there. So this comes up, goes all the way up here. We have a little branch back here, which is good. We like that. Another branch here, which is fine. So yeah, we have that branch there. I'm just going to snip back this little nub a little bit, as well as this one. We have this little nub here I want to snip back. So if you look right here, we have a branch right there that splits into two. Well, technically it's a branch coming out right there and then another branch coming out that way. So we'll keep that, that's good. This comes up, we have a nice branch here. This one is a little bit of an eye poker, but I think it's okay. It's a decent amount of distance before it causes any issues. We do have a little bit of a bar branch issue right there, but that's so small, I think we'll just keep it for now. And then if you look right here, this one is right there, and I'm debating taking that one off. Let's pop in a little bit closer on that one, actually. So as I'm looking at this, I see these two branches here, this one and this one. I'm thinking one of them should go because they're kind of doing the same thing. Because it splits from this branch right here to 1 right back in the back, 2, and 3. And I'm thinking this center one can go. Leaving a little room for dieback. Now, this is our front right here, and one thing that's kind of tripping me up is this branch right here, starting right here, and this one in the back. They're kind of competing for that same angle, and I think I could go two ways with it. I could snip this one off and have this one veer off more towards the back, or I could snip this back one off and keep this one here. And I think I'm leaning towards that because if they're both going to stay there, this is kind of distracting. This one gets lost if this one is here right now. So I kind of like this one better. You know what another option is? I just keep it for now because it's not like a complete game changer. And then I can work from it from there. You know what I might do? There's this section. Well, let me focus that up. So what I think I will do is I will get rid of this one because this is the identical type of branch as this one, but just a little bit higher up. So let's snip this back. We'll just keep that little nub there. And I think the rest of all this stuff I'm fine with. This one comes up here, it splits into two. This one comes up, has a little branch right there, splits into two. This one comes up. There's this little tiny nub right here. I'll see if I can get rid of. There you go, that's fine. I wonder if we, Yeah, I think we snip this guy off. And then we'll trim this back just a bit. And here is that carnage cam. Look at all of these cuttings. That's a crazy amount of cuttings. So these won't go to waste. I will at least try to germinate these, and hopefully we get some more cool little cuttings out of here. All right, I think that will wrap it up for this Facebook Marketplace find. So not bad, not bad at all. This thing is looking fantastic. This will probably be one of my best trees. It's definitely one of my favorites now. I'm just shocked with the difference here between how it looked when I first got it and how it looks now. It's worlds of difference. Not bad for a Facebook Marketplace find. Wow, this is awesome. I'm glad I really took my time with this one and dove in and tried to find, the best way to display this thing. And hopefully it will heal up really well, and it will get a lot more sunlight into these branches here. And in the spring and summer, this thing will hopefully thrive. So I will pamper this thing for the next couple weeks to months, and we'll see how it looks in a few months. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.